Expedition Unknown, Hunt for Extraterrestrials premieres tonight at 9 Eastern Time, 8 Central on the Travel Channel. And the man who is the host of that program, the very popular Josh Gates, here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, Josh.
Great to see you, man.
Let's unpack our story first, shall we?
It was 15 years ago or more?
It was 2002.
Yeah.
I met you in Times Square, New York City for the very first time.
That's right.
And I last saw you on the roof of Alcatraz. That was the last time I saw
it.
you.
On the roof of an abandoned cell block on Alcatraz Island.
And here's the photograph of it.
Yeah.
You and the rest of the winners of Beg, Borrow, and Deal, the ESPN, I believe, 2 reality show. I don't know if it was on the Big E.
I don't remember. It was like their first big foray into doing a big reality competition show.
Let's be honest. It was our big first foray, Josh.
It was the highlight of our. It was the highlight of our careers. I think we can agree.
And the worldwide leaders all together.
Yes.
And the photograph of me with the rest of the winners, you and the trio of your compatriots. It was 2 teams of 4 that had no money, no identification. We took away your wallets and your cash in Times Square.
Yes.
And sent you on some goose chase across the country, first to complete a bunch of sports challenges.
Yeah, the
right?
idea was there was a list of 50 sports-related tasks, and whichever team could complete 10 of them and make it to Alcatraz Island first would win the show.
And I was the host of it, so
yes.
I remember it was like, okay, we're going to start it on such and such a day. Come on down from Bristol.
Yeah.
So I did my stand-ups, to use the television term.
Yeah.
Then I met you and Kelly Zink, who wound up being a production assistant on the NFL Network. She helped launch the NFL Network years later.
That's right.
And Juliet, who is, I believe, a Real Housewife of London
now.
Right now.
She's on Ladies of London. Yeah.
It's
you're a hit maker, Eisen.
Brockman, I was flying on a plane. I'm like, this girl looks awfully familiar on Bravo right now. And she was on Beg, Borrow, and Deal, part of Josh Gates' team going across the country.
Yeah.
And some like Clemson Tiger fan named Bubba.
That's right.
And you went. This is a true story. And then I got a phone call one day on SportsCenter saying, okay, I know you're on SportsCenter tomorrow night, but this group of people are going to make it to Alcatraz tomorrow. You got to get on a flight right now and get to San Francisco for tomorrow. I'm like, really?
Right.
Boom. I dropped everything and flew all the way out and stood on the roof of Alcatraz. And then you strolled down. You know, actually, we were in this cell block.
Yeah.
And then you stroll around the corner, and I smelled you before I heard you.
That's probably true.
You had not showered in like a month, right?
That's right. That's right. We had been. I forget how long it took us to get it done. But yeah, we completed 10 of the tasks and made it to Alcatraz. It was a crazy experience.
No, I mean, like, because one of them was you caught a pass from Jesse Palmer, right? Because you had to go into the Giants facility and catch a pass from a real NFL quarterback.
Yeah, the tasks were hard.
Right.
It was like sing the national anthem at a Major League Baseball game.
Yes.
You know, no big deal. Catch a pass, beat a NBA player to game a horse. I mean, they were like pretty like legit difficult things to pull off. I mean, luckily you could stroll in anywhere and say, we're doing a show with ESPN. That helped.
Right, that definitely helped.
But really, we were kind of on our own to go figure these things out.
Did you throw out a first pitch at a minor league baseball game?
Yeah,
too?
I think we let Juliet throw out the first pitch. No, it was at...
But you had to talk your way into this.
You had to talk, yeah, exactly. She threw the first pitch. I think it was at a White Sox game. She's like impossible to me. But
and then again... winding up on Alcatraz first, you wound up winning the grand prize, which was
a pack of gum.
No.
And a bus ticket home.
No.
Great,
but you got
no,
tickets
it was
to the
actually
Final Four, the Super Bowl, the Kentucky Derby.
It was 4 pairs of tickets to any 4 championship sporting events in the U.S. within a calendar year.
Did you go to any of them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a sports guy. I think the whole reason I was on the show is that I'm like a big guy who seems like he should know something about sports, and I don't.
Josh Gates of Expedition Unknown here, but you should know they did tell me, the producers, before I met you, okay, now one of the guys on the teams knows nothing about sports.
Go easy on him. Right.
It's what they basically told me beforehand. So which ones did you go to?
Right, like this is a prize for a sports fan that would be outrageous.
Right.
I was looking at it based on, because I'm a travel nut. So I'm like, well, where can I go with these? So a lot of guys would have chosen the Super Bowl. I was living in LA. Super Bowl was in San Diego. To me, no interest in that.
Okay.
So I went to the Pro Bowl.
In Hawaii?
Yeah, because I wanted to go to Hawaii with my girlfriend.
Good for you.
Right?
Yeah.
Not the best game in the world, but you know, it was a free trip to Hawaii. I wanted to go to the Iditarod, and ESPN wouldn't
yes.
let me.
Wait a minute.
They were like, "No, dude, no, that doesn't count." I was like, "That's a championship
It is.
sporting event."
You've been to the Iditarod,
I've never
right?
been, but I lived in
lived in
Alaska for 2 different times for 7 years total, so I know all about the Iditarod.
They literally were like, "No,
What?
pick something else." I did the World Series. I was hoping it was going to be the Red Sox, which wasn't until a year later.
'Cause
So
you're
it
a
was,
Boston guy.
yeah, it was New York, Florida, and Yankee Stadium, and
Also, you got to watch the Marlins beat the Yankees,
Yeah,
which is a Red Sox fan.
yeah,
that's
exactly.
as close. That's as close to seeing the Red Sox. win,
exactly
right.
And then I
root for 2
did
teams, Rich.
Final Four New Orleans.
Syracuse.
Basketball, and then I let my mom pick one. I said, "Mom, whatever you want to go do."
And what'd you choose?
And I thought she was going to choose the U.S. Open. She chose Kentucky Derby. So we went down to the Kentucky Derby, and she picked the winning horse. We won $500. So it was awesome.
And you thought you didn't win money being on Bet,
Right?
Borrow, and Deal.
Yeah,
And now look at you, man. You have built a career out of this sort of.
out of not showering.
Well, no, out of just throwing caution to the wind and living life and trying to crack codes that you
Yeah.
don't know that could be cracked.
Yeah,
it's
been a really amazing journey since that show, actually, and funny enough, the producer who made Beg, Borrow, and Deal,
the Mance.
the Mance,
Mm-hmm.
they sold this concept for the next show that I did to Sci-Fi. They needed a host, they needed a travel guy. So really, without Beg, Borrow, and Deal, I would never have come to that opportunity, which would never have led me to Travel Channel. So I guess what I'm saying is I owe it all to you.
What we're saying, Josh Gates, host of the Travel Channel, Expedition Unknown, Hunt for Extraterrestrials, that if you one day do in fact prove that we are not the only people in this world or galaxy or what have you, it all starts with that schmoey show, Beg, Borrow, and
That's
Deal.
right. It really does. It all started there. That'll be on my epitaph.
We are not alone,
That's right.
essentially.
Yeah, no, this special is really cool. Kicks off tonight. I'm really excited about it. It's it's a question that everybody has asked. Who hasn't sort of looked up at the stars at some point and said, "What else is out there?" So this was a chance to go literally around the world. We did about 50,000 miles, 4 continents, to investigate this question of life in the universe, from NASA's mission control all the way down to experiencers who claim they've been abducted, everywhere in between. So
Can you tell me what is the closest that you came away saying, all right, I believe it. I believe it. I know we are not the only ones.
on the science side, I walked away fully believing that there's life in the universe. Talking to some of the world's best astronomers, astronauts, scientists, they're convinced now. There's a real consensus that they're finding these Earth-like planets at a pretty alarming rate. So, I think now it would be weird if there wasn't life in the universe. Earth is not as unique, I think, as we thought it was maybe 10, 20 years ago. So from that side of things, I'm all in. I mean, it just seems like there has to be. The conditions for life are out there, so there has to be. This other question of, are they, here and skulking around in the shadows and abducting people and probing them? That's a much more difficult question.
Well, I don't think you've ever met Mike Del Tufo over there, our sound audio engineer. There's sometimes where I feel like he's an alien life form. Sometimes the way he acts.
Pod person?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Pod.
But not like Men in Black, where it's the Del Tufo suit zipped up over
I'm a little
an
pug.
alien.
I'm the pug in Men in Black.
Yeah.
How many people have you met that believe this because it's the only way they can explain what's happening?
I think that's part of it. I mean, we are really in pop culture and entertainment and literature.
Yes.
We love aliens. I mean, it's a big part of movie industry. We love these stories. So I think every time somebody sees a weird light in the sky, a lot of folks just flash straight to must be a UFO.
I was driving to
Here we go.
NFL game day morning this very Sunday, 4 a.m, coming off the 405, and there was a big flash of bright blue light that lit up the sky 3 different times.
And
I flipped out.
what do you think it was?
I have no earthly idea. It's near LAX. I don't know what it was.
Right.
I was thinking maybe you can help me with that. Maybe you know.
Are you losing
what it
sleep?
was.
Are you
No, I'm not
feeling
losing
traumatized?
Sleep, but I'm just. Did you hear anything about Sunday around 4 a.m.
I did
Pacific
not.
time?
I
No?
did not.
You haven't heard that?
You were close to an airport, so we have some possible
Sure.
options here.
There was no weather balloons
Right?
anywhere.
No. But no. Look, we met people on this special who had stories that completely blow me away. There's a guy named Travis Walton whose story was made into a film called Fire in the Sky. It was also a book. Travis is a guy that we met with that I've known. This guy was a logger in Arizona, up in the mountains with 6 other guys logging. knocked off at the end of the day, headed home in a pickup truck in the woods. They see a bright light. Travis gets out of the truck. These other 6 guys stay in the truck. They're screaming, "Travis, don't get out, don't get out." They see him get blown off his feet by this light. He vanishes. You can go on Wikipedia. This guy's story is incredible. The 6 guys go back to town. The police assume that they've murdered this guy. I mean, they're coming back to town saying, "Oh, this buddy of ours vanished." They all pass lie detector tests. A few days later, Travis Walton reemerges in town, emaciated, confused.
Come on.
It's one of those stories where, and these are like blue collar forestry workers, and you hear this guy's story, and he has this, I mean, on paper, crazy story. He was abducted. He went up into the spaceship, and you hear it, and you go, "That's impossible."
We're coming up on the 40th anniversary of Close Encounters.
Yeah.
Hitting the movie theaters. It's this very month.
Yeah,
40 years. It's
which
coming up.
also seems crazy.
I know.
But people have these stories that are not easy to explain. Doesn't mean that aliens abducted them, but I met all sorts of folks that left me at the end of their interviews feeling like I don't know how to explain this away.
Travel Channel's Expedition Unknown Hunt for Extraterrestrials premieres tonight at 9 Eastern Time. How many miles do you have in your frequent flyer account?
A gentleman never discusses that.
This is not like a golf handicap where. What do you mean?
A
What do you mean
lot.
a gentleman never.
No, a lot.
You've traveled the world. You're on the Travel Channel.
I know, a lot.
It's okay. You're not bragging. You're not bragging.
I mean, millions.
So you could basically not pay for a. Well, you can. You're definitely paying.
Well, they're
for
not
flight.
worth much
I know,
anymore,
that's
right?
What is going on?
Like I'm flying my parents out here for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was like to get them from the Boston out here and back is like almost $500,000. I mean, it's like an insane number of miles to get flights
And
anymore.
is it true you were on a corner of the earth and found out you were having a kid? Is that a true
Yeah,
story?
I was in Haiti. We were filming an episode on Christopher Columbus in Haiti, and we have a sort of like emergency sat phone that doesn't ring very often.
Yeah.
And it rang, and we were filming, and on air, I found out that my wife's having a baby. So it was a great kind of emotional moment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
now
and we left it in the show. Yeah.
Your wife's cool with that? I mean, we're
Yeah,
we good
it
in the
was-
case? I don't want to mix anything up.
Yeah,
here. I know
no.
that's not the reality show.
Yeah,
that
no,
we-
she's very cautious about our kid is not on social media, But this was such a cool kind of real moment that we put it on the show.
All I know is that my middle kid, it was close to him being born, and it was the Super Bowl about 2.5 weeks beforehand, and it was a little dicey, especially when the OB asked for tickets to go to the game.
Oh,
And
it's amazing.
I said, don't ask me for tickets. You go ask my wife if it's okay to get tickets to this game.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. But congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and we actually have another one on the way.
So okay. So are you off now or what? You're off to another spot?
I leave on Sunday to go to Egypt for 3 weeks. We're filming a show there, and then this is definitely a be careful what you wish for job. I mean, you travel all the time too, but I do about 250 days a year abroad, usually in not so great places. So it's a big schedule.
Where's the one place you would never go back?
It's a tough question.
Alcatraz, the roof of Alcatraz.
The roof of Alcatraz. If I could take it all back.
The Giants practice bubble catching a pass from Jesse Palmer.
Yeah, exactly. There are places. I feel like Central Asia. I'm not that big on like the stands, the Kazakhstans, the Uzbekistan. I mean, I don't hate them, but boy, the food's tough.
Okay. All right. Well, congrats on everything that's happened to you, man. I cannot believe ESPN put the kibosh on sending you to the Iditarod.
Right?
What in the world is that, man?
I mean, how
Do they
much
not
could
have the
that have
rights?
cost? An Alaska Airlines ticket?
They don't even show it on the Ocho, I guess, is why they don't.
They don't.
Good to see you, Josh.
Great to
Come
see
back
you.
anytime.
Thanks, man.
So thrilled. And let's not do it once every 15 years.
Exactly.
Okay?
Let's go to Alcatraz more often.
Travel Channel's Expedition Unknown Hunt for Extraterrestrials premieres tonight at 9 Eastern Time on Travel Channel.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that, please download our app. There's lots of fun things there other than just more of the videos you just saw. You can call us from the app. You can email us from the app. Just download it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.